Good afternoon and welcome to Zone Carrigan in Tombridge here in County Antrim for this TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship Group 4 Round 3 game between Antrim and Longford. Both sides out on the pitch with their last few minutes of warm-up on what is a glorious afternoon here in Tombridge. Delighted to say I'm joined by, well, a lady that needs very little introduction, Tyrone and Carrickmore great, Ailish Gormley. You're very welcome to this broadcast, Ailish.
Thank you very much, Jared. What a day to be out at a football match and pristine pitch here, great conditions. So looking forward to a good match ahead.
Yeah, should be an interesting game as the Antrim team to our left-hand side will line out as follows. Anna McCann is in goals. The full-back line of Juna Coleman, Emma Fearn and Aisling Keenan. The half-back line of Orla Kaur, Ciara Brown and Sarah O'Neill. One change in the middle of the field sees Anna Mulholland drop out due to an injury, and she's replaced by number 22, Laura Agnew, and she will be partnered in the middle of the field by Anya Tuberday. Half-forward line is Grania McLaughlin. The captain is Kathy Carey, wears number 11, and number 12 is Lara de Honze. And the full forward line, what a full forward line this is, of Brona Devlin, we're 13, Orla Prent are 14, and Maria O'Neill 15. That's enough to scare any team, that full forward line, I would suggest, Ailish.
Absolutely, and it must be a complete privilege for the outfield players there. I know Orla Prent in particular, I've watched her at schools football all the way up, and any ball in there is a good ball, and they're making hay when it comes into them.
Yeah, a super player. I watched the Antrim team defeat Tyrone in the Ulster final in a terrific performance. Meanwhile, Longford, they've had their problems during the week. Of course, their manager, Alan Mullen, resigned midweek, and their new manager or caretaker manager here today is Sean Minahan, and they've a lot of players missing. So quite a few changes on the team that was put out to the public on Friday afternoon. They will line out with Rhiannon McGrath in goals. Grace Kenny wearing 18 comes in for Shauna McCormick at cornerback. Leanne Keegan as the captain will wear 3. Emma Dorish is 4. Kiva McCormick wears 5. Emma O'Brien 6, and Maria Kelleher is 7. Middle of the field, Fumi Talaba wears number 8, and Grace Shannon is number 9. Half forward line sees Megan Glennon replace her sister Hannah Glennon, who, believe it or not, is flying in from Paris as we speak and hopes to make it here in time for the throw-in. Aisling Cosgrove wears number 11. Katie Crawford wears number 12. Then the full forward line sees 2 changes. Ella Duggan will wear 21. She comes in for Kate Shannon, who's injured. And Ella O'Reilly wears 14. And then 17 is Caitlin McKeown, and she comes in for Edel Sheehy. So not ideal preparation for the Longford girls. A difficult week for them.
Certainly a difficult week and a bit of turmoil there, but I mean, as athletes and players, those girls will want to go out there today and do themselves proud. And I'm sure that they'll not be found wanting in this challenge.
Yeah, both sides line out together in the middle of the field, and now we'll have our national anthem, Around the Via. Very interesting to see the girls, the way they've stood together for the anthem, and now they will sit down together in the middle of the field, and this is to, I suppose, show their solidarity for the issues that are ongoing in ladies football and camogie at the moment. in terms of the charter, Ailish, and this is a unified protest here this afternoon by both teams.
Yeah, and together we stand there. They were united there, and they're all sitting together. It's actually lovely to see the officials sitting too, and the girls' demands, so the demands, for hot shower, a shower after games, hot meals and things like that, and appropriate travel. No player should be out of pocket for participating in a sport at this level. So it's nice to see them all united there.
Yeah, well, it only came to my attention that this was happening earlier today, but I believe it's happening in all games in ladies football across the country this weekend. Yeah,
all games and all levels, and I thought that was actually very poignant as well, that it's not just the senior teams that are calling out for better conditions, it's at all levels, junior, intermediate, senior, camogie and Gaelic, and I think the demands of the girls are actually very small, to have that right to a hot shower, a meal, and to have appropriate medical and training mileage expenses. I think that's not a big ask for anybody. The standard that they're all training and playing at now is just incredible, and nobody's looking to make any money out of it. It's literally just to get a wee bit of fair play, and I suppose to be a bit more, an equal playing field with their male counterparts. So it's nice to see the officials, as I say, sitting with the girls, standing and sitting with them as well.
Yeah, and speaking of our officials, we have our referee Gavin Finnegan in the centre of the field from County Down. The standby referee is Paul McCaughey from Westmeath, and our two linespersons are Leo Dugan from Armagh and Anya Martin from Fermanagh. So we're all set. I think it's probably fair to say before the ball is thrown in, this is going to be a difficult encounter for the Longford girls based on the form of this Antrim team.
Yeah, absolutely, based on the form of the team, but also their own turmoil that they've had this week, plus having to make a difficult journey up here to Carrigan. But I'm sure they'll have a bit of pride in themselves as well. They'll want to do themselves justice, and at least to be able to end of the year on a high note as well. They'll not give in too easy, I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, Grace Shannon does well there. Oh, heavy challenge there. The referee allows play to continue, but two of the girls look as if they've picked up a fairly significant knock. One is Lara De Hunzi and the other is Fumi Tabala. Both of them bravely went for that ball that broke as a result of Grace Shannon running into a bit of trouble, and the referee, well, little slow to stop the game, but done the appropriate thing by holding the game up, Ailish.
Yeah, I believe the Longford player might have actually taken that hit in the head area, and it was possibly a wee bit of a delayed reaction for her. She seemed a bit stunned before she actually fell, so it's possible the referee was watching the ball move on and didn't actually see that contact, but hopefully both players are okay and able to continue the game. Obviously they don't want to be out of it this early.
Yeah, the context of this game is interesting because this is round 3. Westmeath are the other team in the group. Westmeath were beaten by Antrim on the 2 weeks ago, 11th of June in Mullingar, 2-17 to 4-7. A 4-point victory for the Antrim girls down in Mullingar. Then Westmeath had a big victory over Longford, 3-14 to 6 points. And then we have Antrim and Longford today. So really and truly, this is a must-win for the Longford girls. But as you alluded to, with their issues during the week and with the form of this Antrim team, it's going to be particularly difficult for them. Very young side as well. They have. I was talking to one of their coaches before the game, and they've 7 minors involved in the panel, but they have been strong at youth level over the last number of years.
Yeah, they certainly have, and again that Antrim team now also has, even though they're a young team, they've had quite a bit of experience in Croke Park this last few years as well, so they made no mistake. They're not here just to take part, as they showed beating Tyrone in that Ulster final. They're ready to make the step up here now, so and also a very young team, bar probably 1 or 2 of the Antrim players. They're all probably 18 to 20 as well, so, and certainly Longford in a building phase.
Grace Shannon with the shot. That's the first effort on the post, and it's a fine score, as you say, from Grace Shannon. It was a patient build up there by Longford. Aisling Cosgrave, Katie Crawford involved. Eventually came back to the midfielder Grace Shannon, and she kicked it over very confidently.
A lovely strike with her left foot, yes, and again she looks like she had a wee bit of space there, so Antrim will just want to watch that she doesn't get away too much on them. Well, she looks like a girl with her eye in today already. Orla
Corr, good ball down, looking for Grania McLaughlin. McLaughlin lays it off to Kathy Carey, that diagonal ball that Orla Pranter loves. Pranter turns on the left, shoots with the left, but this time it goes badly to the left hand side and goes wide. She tried twice to get onto her favourite left foot, but to be fair, the defender knew that she was going to turn onto it and ultimately she had to go with the left. With not much joy.
Not much joy there, but I mean, I think Orla will prove us here that she can play off both feet very well once she settles into it. She had a lovely delayed run for that last ball, which was brilliant. She snuck out in front of the back at the last second, and Longford obviously lining up their number 3 is just taking her as per programme.
Yeah, ball in the hands now of Grania McLaughlin. McLaughlin from the Glenavy club does well, lays it back. A little bit of space now for DeHunsey to work in. Powerful players, Laura DeHunsey still going strong when she fisted over the bar. She elects to very intelligently flick it over the bar. The space was being closed down, but she showed great poise, great pace, great grace the way she finished that score. Super.
Yeah, excellent athlete. I was lucky to see Laura playing there. I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. She was playing for St Paul's in an All-Ireland junior final, and I thought I was very impressed with her at that stage. As a young girl, she was brilliant, great athleticism.
Sides level, 1 point apiece here as the ball is in the hands of Laura Agnew. Late introduction to the team due to the injury to Anna Mulholland. Ball comes over here now towards the 18-year-old student. That's Marie O'Neill. O'Neill lays it off to Orla Corr. Corr from the St John's club flicks it forward, but there's plenty of blue and yellow jerseys back there, and it's easily gathered by Kiva McCormick. Ball fisted out to Emma Dorish. Doris lays it off again. Oh, not the best ball in the world. Ball given away to the centre half back, Ciara Brown. Brown will take them all day. Looks up. Ball fed in now by Brona Devlin. Devlin inside looking for Prento, this time on the left again, but she hasn't got the range on the left foot as yet. That one has gone badly to the left hand side as well. So 2 wides for the Antrim girls and 1 point apiece.
Yeah, a peach of a pass there, and from I think it was Maria O'Neill, because Orla Prento was actually being double teamed there, and the pass was just totally incisive. It got through both players to Orla, and she'll be disappointed with herself with that finish.
Ball won from the kick out by Longford. Down below us in front of this wonderful pavilion that we're commentating from. A slight breeze blowing right to left, favouring the Longford girls, cooling things down because it is very warm on the pitch. 21, 22 degrees down there as the ball is in the hands of Fumi Tabala. Tabala gives it forward. Ball well held on that occasion by Caitlin McKeown. McKeown gives it back to where it came from. That's Tabala. Tabala coming forward 20 metres out, been tackled strongly and brilliantly there by Juna Coleman, I think it was, who came across, showed great tenacity and dispossessed and won the foul, and that'll be a clearance for the Antrim girls. Good tenacity there from the Antrim rearguard. Absolutely
brilliant tackle there from the number 2. She just timed that run, or timed her move there perfectly and flicked the ball away from the toe. And again, nice tight defending from Antrim. They'll just want to start making the scoreboard tick over now. That'll be a big concern for them here at the minute, that they've 2 wides on the board.
6 minutes played, 1 point apiece. Good football again. Ball in the hands of Anya Tuberty. Tuberty lays it off there, looking for McLaughlin. McLaughlin cuts inside on the left. That looks as if it's going to drop short. Indeed it does. Into the grateful hands there of the Longford netminder. That's Rianne McGrath. McGrath plays it out. Eventually comes this near side of the field to Emma Dorish. Dorish flicks it forward. Ball won down below us here by the point scorer. That's Grace Shannon from the Longford Slashers Club. Gives it back to Dorish, but the referee says there was a foul there on the Longford girls, so the free will go the way of Longford. Taken quickly by Grace Shannon. Back to Emma Dorish. Dorish, 65 metres out from her own goal, gives it to Kiva McCormick. McCormick tackled strongly, has been able to knock it back to Emer O'Brien. O'Brien, a little bit of space to come forward, does well, rounds her marker on that occasion. That was Kathy Carey, lays it off to Maria Kelleher. McKelleher through the hands, through the middle, but one thing I noticed about Antrim, they get very, very narrow and make it very difficult to penetrate through the centre. They're not too worried if it goes out to the wings, but the centre is all closed up, as you can see. A flood of saffron jerseys there, making it really difficult for Longford to penetrate, and therefore they have to come out to this near side of the field, but they've worked the ball well in the hands of Fumi Tabala. Tabala gives it back inside. Good challenge again from Lara DeHunsey. She does so much hard work for the Antrim girls, and now this is where Antrim like to play, on the counter. Good ball fed forward there, looking for Marie O'Neill. O'Neill, just 18 years of age, from the Money Glass Club. Marie O'Neill takes on her marker, does well, shows that turn of pace that she has. Is there a finish in O'Neill? Looks up for support, has it there in the shape of Pranter. Pranter this time onto the right foot. Surely her opening score. Yes, indeed it is. Super score, and that's what Antrim thrive on. That defensive tenacity, that turnover, the quick break, down to the likes of Marie O'Neill into Pranter, super score.
Absolutely brilliant score, and they defended the D with their life there. I think they had 2 extra Antrim players down there the whole time. Laura Delahousie obviously made the turnover. Ball out to Cathy Carey, superb long pass into Marie O'Neill, who found her teammate, clubmate Pranter, and she made no mistake this time. So a great move.
Certainly, great score. 2 points to 1 in favour of the Saffron girls here in the sunshine in Carrigan, Toonbridge. Ball fed forward by Longford. Grace Shannon from the Longford Slashers. Longford Slashers, of course, won the Intermediate All-Ireland club title last year. A super performance for them. Beat all round them in Leinster and then beat the Fermanagh champions Derry Connolly in the All-Ireland final as Katie Crawford is in possession. Crawford lays it back here to Kiva McCormick. McCormick fits it inside, but another turnover, this time again by Cathy Carey. Carey feeds the ball down quickly. Now they look to move the ball inside if at all possible. Couple of players double teaming Pranter, but Pranter makes her move. Ball slid over there and out in front, and when it is Orla Pranter from Moneyglass. Pranter turns onto her favourite right foot, gets the shot away. Umpires look, umpires nod. The white flag will go up. Super score again from Orla Pranter. Now she's found her range, and that's 2 brilliant scores in the space of 2 minutes, but both coming from turnovers and quick ball.
Yeah, Cathy Carey's been involved with both those, and again that lovely delayed run from Orla Pranter, just making that burst the last second. Her teammate Grania McLaughlin probably asked a wee bit much over there. The pass went a wee bit wide, but you know, Orla Pranter's speedy. She got across the ground and was able to make no mistake. Yeah,
super play from Orla Pranter there. Good score. 3 points to 1 in favour of the Saffron girls. 10 minutes played here in the sunshine in Carrigan. Ball breaks favourably, but the referee sees a foul and holds the play up, and the free will go the way of the Longford girls. Difficult week, as I said earlier, for Longford. Alan Mullen, their manager, resigned midweek. Statement from Longford LGFA stated that with a number of reasons, girls travelling, girls retiring, girls on work visas, and others unable to commit due to exams, and unfortunately, I suppose also the statement spoke of the hurlers on the ditch and some criticism that he was receiving. He decided he'd had enough and stepped away, but I'm sure he's tuned in this afternoon, hoping that his side, that he managed up to this, as Marie O'Neill comes in. This could be the opening goal of the game. Brilliant save from Rianne McGrath. Can it result in a point? Back it comes to Hunzi. Hunzi gets it over to Tubridy. Tubridy lays it back there to the captain, Cathy Carey. Longford closed down the D, but Hunzi goes for the point from distance, and Hunzi pops it over the bar. Her first score of the game. Well worked, patient, got it to the shooter, and over it went.
Yeah, a great score from Lara there, and I think Marie O'Neill took that shot that hit the post, and she was actually first to react, and she was a great save from the Longford keeper there to keep that out of the net.
Yeah, really, really good save. She got down very, very quickly and threw out her right foot, and somehow managed to scramble it away. Keeps the scoreboard at 4 points to 1 in favour of Antrim. That looks like a foul, but the referee playing the advantage. Ashton Keenan, the 26-year-old teacher from Breda, was fouled. Referee says play can continue. Antrim starting to get into their groove. Cathy Carey involved in a lot of good work. Overlap there from Sarah O'Neill. Finds O'Neill. O'Neill cuts back inside. Lays it back to Carey. Carey eventually gives it to Laura Agnew. Back it comes. Another opportunity there for Marie O'Neill, but O'Neill's shot is a little ambitious. Goes to the right hand side. Goes wide. Third wide of the game, but Antrim are starting to show their dominance.
They are, absolutely, and again, Cathy Carey's been very central to that. She's a very unselfish kind of player. She's covering a lot of ground, and when she has the ball, she's very intelligent on it. She's moving it quickly, and she's getting it to the danger woman, which is obviously, you know, they're going to hopefully be able, from Antrim's point of view, turn that scoreboard over a wee bit more before they get to the halfway mark.
That's the voice of Ailish Gormley. Carrickmore and Tyrone Great with us here this afternoon on LGFA TV. Broadcasting live from Carrigan, in the home of Carrigan in Toonbridge here in County Antrim. Beautiful conditions here, beautiful pavilion that we're operating from this afternoon, and a super pitch for the girls to play on out there. 4 points to 1 in favour of the home side. Foul there, says the referee, on Ella O'Reilly, and the free will go the way of the Longford girls. Looks for movement, finds it there in the shape of Katie Crawford. Crawford gives it inside, not a good ball, and that girl again, Laura DeHonze, in working so hard, has her captain to her right, finds her captain, that's Kathy Carey. Carey into her clubmate, that's Pranter. Pranter onto the left, back onto the right, dummy solo, still going Pranter, turns again, referee's hand goes up, ball played inside to Carey. Carey, with the referee, will bring this one back, I think. Yeah. The advantage didn't accrue, and therefore he decided to bring it back and give the free that Orla Pranter had won. But she's a joy to watch.
She is. Her movement's brilliant, and just to commend the referee, and that's very good refereeing so far in terms of he's very well up with the play. He's also playing the advantage when it's there, and he's bringing it back whenever he needs to reward the team there. Many referees, sometimes maybe the advantage gets over very quickly or it lasts very long, but I think so far he's been very consistent with his use of the rule.
Yeah, and he's letting a degree of physicality go, and I think the girls appreciate that. There has to be some level of physicality in it, Eilish. What's your views on that?
Well, again, it's that fine line. The rule is very clear, no deliberate contact, and then obviously when there's deliberate contact in there, the referee should be blowing it. But I mean, these girls are all great athletes. It just leads to a wee bit of frustration sometimes whenever the referees maybe allow that contact to go, and then they maybe blow something quite easy later on in the game. So as long as the game doesn't get out of control, that's a big factor. It can get out of control very quickly with one or two bad tackles,
Yeah.
So
well, it's this common sense approach that we talk, but then common sense isn't written into the rule book.
Common sense isn't there, and it's very difficult, because every referee will have a different degree of common sense as well, and a different interpretation, which just leads to a wee bit of frustration. But
good
so
ball
far,
inside Anya Tuberty with another opportunity for Antrim. Looks good, is good, pops it over the bar. The spread of scores is increasing as well.
it is, and another really good incisive ball. I think that's maybe the fourth long pass that Antrim have raked in there, and has cut out one of the Longford players, the covering defender. Now you'll not get away with that every day, but so far it's working for them, and they're prepared to kick the ball, which is lovely to see.
Longford coming out with it, but they've been turned over again. Yeah, Marie O'Neill on this occasion wins the ball for Antrim along the 45-metre line, looks up, great ball inside to Pranter into the Honze, can she finish? The little chip over the top, she was going for goal, just a little bit too much weight on it, but over the bar it goes, and the white flag goes up. 2 points for Laura de Honze and 7 points now for Antrim.
Yeah, superb ball in there, superbly weighted into Orla Pranter, and very unselfishly she flicked it off to De La Honze that was coming running through, and she definitely was going for goal there. Just unlucky to see her chip drop over the crossbar.
Yeah, it just shows you the confidence in this Antrim side, and they are a team to be admired, Eilish. I mean, the way that they have gelled and improved and drove on over the last couple of years is really, really impressive. Ulster Intermediate champions now. We'll bring you in a moment on that as they look for another score here with Orla Corr. Good ball inside, looking for Tuberty driving forward from midfield. Looks as if she's been fouled. Yeah, referee right up with the play, as Eilish has suggested earlier, and he awards the free in to the Saffron girls. And coming over to take this one is Grania McLaughlin from the Glenavy club. McLaughlin steadies down on the left foot, has a nice little angle to help her. McLaughlin pops it over the bar. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different scores so far for the Antrim girls.
Yeah, it's very impressive so far. They're also pressed up very high in this kick out here. So in that last play, the 12 Antrim players were in there and within their own 65 trying to turn that kick out over. So it's proven very difficult for Longford to actually get the ball out here.
Yeah,
which is great to see. Good work rate from the Antrim players.
Yeah, and then as soon as the Longford girls get the ball out to this area of the field, the Antrim girls drop. You can see them all dropping back in behind the 45 now to set up a screen to try and force another turnover. They're all filtering back. There's only 2 players now, or 3 Antrim players ahead of the ball, as De Honze puts in the tackle on Tabula over there. The referee says play can continue, and it's Fumi Tabula. Back it comes across field to Emer O'Brien. Just Longford need to retain possession here. Don't force things. Try and see, can they work a score, because they've conceded the last 8 scores. They got the first score of the game. It looks like possibly a foul. Yeah, referee indicates that there's a little bit too much physicality there on Katie Crawford, and the free will go the way of the Antrim girls. I think it was Maria O'Neill, one of the sprightly forwards that was working back hard there, and that give away that foul.
Yeah, and again, that's, I suppose, when you're playing against a side that have an Orla Prenter up there. Longford are obviously trying to cover her, but unfortunately at the other side of the pitch it's just leaving them that wee bit toothless. Those last couple of attacks, they haven't had an out-and-out full forward to be able to direct the ball to, so they're having to be patient, carry it in, and that's exhausting, particularly in a heat like this. So maybe in the second half we'll see a switch of tactics from Longford where they will put a target player in there.
Yeah, that's a fine effort from Grace Shannon. She got the opening score in the second minute of the game. We're now in the 18th minute of the game, and that point has gone over the bar for the second score of the game for Longford. So give them a little bit of hope.
Yeah, certainly. They've some nice wee footballers there, some nice play, but as I say, their overall team strategy and the lack of an out-and-out full forward and that sort of release for a long ball. I mean, Antrim, every time they come up the pitch, they know they've got somebody they can launch the ball into, and there's a fair chance she's going to win it.
Great move again, Laura Agnew. Tried to flick it across, but well defended on that occasion. It was Maria Kelleher from the Clongish club that came across there, done really well, and knocked that ball away as Longford come forward now in the shape of Kiva McCormick. McCormick solos the ball, has support, working really hard as Katie Crawford holds the ball up. Katie from the Carrick-Edmond club looks forward now, good ball inside, looking there for Ella Duggan, but well won on that occasion by Orla Carr. She read the danger, seen where the ball was going to be played, and snuck in front and won possession as the ball is kicked out long on this occasion. That's a feature of the Antrim girls. They like to kick the ball and move it quickly into the forward line, and it's that girl Maria O'Neill again. O'Neill has been fouled, takes the free quickly, gives it to her captain Kathy Carey. Carey looks forward, high ball on this occasion in towards Pranter, surrounded by two players, but Pranter does well, turns on to the right foot. Great block on that occasion, super block. I think it was Leanne Keegan, the full back, done really well.
Really well, just ended up making it a wee bit tricky for the goalie when it bounced. Then it took that spin there. So, but they've dealt with it here. They're coming out round the midfield again. So, again, just Longford again. They need to try to get somebody into this full forward line area to try and have a target to be able to hit. Opportunity
on this occasion for Caitlin McKeown over on the far side of the field, but the linesperson over there, Anya Martin, has indicated that the ball went out over the sideline. So it's a line ball for Antrim. Nice sprinkling of a crowd here in Carrigan, all out in the sunshine, enjoying this encounter. As I say, Antrim ladies football on a roll. Of course, the men are in Croke Park today, so big day for Antrim as Laura DeHunsey comes forward. She's kicked 2 so far. Can that be 3? It certainly is. She is having a stormer out there.
Yeah, and a great take there from Grania McLaughlin there at wing forward again to release Lara there on the ball. So Antrim playing very much like a team, no individuals. Even though they have some outstanding players, they're definitely linking very well as a team, which is lovely to see. 3
points from play from Laura DeHunsey, a 20-year-old banker from the St Paul's club. 3 points, of course, for Orla Prenter as well. There's a tally of 6. And then Anya Tuberty and Grania McLaughlin with a couple of points each as well, as Antrim extend their lead to 9 points to 2, as Longford try to come forward again with Aisling Cosgrove. Cosgrove from the Longford Slashers club gives it to her club mate. That's Grace Shannon. She's kicked 2 points already for the Longford girls. Ball fed back in. I was talking to Grace's father before the game. Jerry, involved with the team. Other sister is out injured as the ball is fed inside, and it goes harmlessly eventually to the left hand side, but there was a little bit of uncertainty in the Antrim rear guard on that occasion, Eilish.
Yeah, there seemed to be a little bit of a mix-up between the goalkeeper and one of the defenders there. I don't know who actually called that ball, but and I see the Longford players obviously picked up an injury. Hopefully she's okay to continue. But again, for a defence that's been so solid, that's probably their first little mistake they've made there. They've been defending with their life around that D. It's been very difficult for Longford to penetrate that, and that little long ball in there caused that wee bit of, I suppose, confusion in the Antrim rearguard. So, I mean, from a Longford point of view, you'd like to think they could test it out, put a few more long balls in there and see what might happen.
Yeah, I suppose the fact that they're playing, as you say, with a sweeper and sometimes a double sweeper to try and negate the influence of Orla Pranter, leaves them short then when they try to go forward.
It does, and an exhausting game plan when you're having to try to keep the ball and retain it. You know, players are creeping up the pitch at a very slow rate there, trying to maintain possession. They don't have that out and out long ball that Antrim are fit to employ. But players will be. Hopefully the players are all right, but most of the players will be glad of a little bit of a break here because it's very warm out there for them all.
I think they're in Longford are in another bit of bother. They're here with only a squad of 22 or 23 players, but I think they've lost one of their players now at this juncture. As I see a sub getting ready down below us. Number 22 is Rachel Fallon from the St Bridget's Club. So Rachel Fallon is going to come on to the field of play, and unfortunately it looks like a shoulder injury or an arm and elbow injury by the looks of things.
Yeah, and it looks serious enough for the player to be coming off at this point. Hopefully there's nothing more than maybe a bad strain or something on it. You wouldn't want to see anybody breaking a bone at this point in the year either.
Yeah, so that's the end of the day for Ella Duggan, as we follow the play and see Grania McLaughlin fire in another shot with her left foot. She's got one from a free and now she's got one from play. So the Glenavy girl has kicked Antrim's 10th point. So 24 minutes played, 10 points to 2. Antrim will be very happy with that start.
Very, very happy, and Grania herself there has been very involved in a lot of the plays, not alone taking the few scores and also setting up for some of the other players in the team. So she'll be very content with her contribution so far with 5 minutes to go to half time. So Antrim again, they'll be looking to tick on a few more. Where Longford, obviously, they'll be hoping they can get 1 or 2 more scores on the board to give them hope at half time.
Yeah, so it's Rachel Fallon on for the injured Ella Duggan. And ball comes the way of Megan Glennon. Glennon gives it to Rachel Fallon. Her first touch gives it inside to Kiva McCormick. McCormick through the hands. This is good to Shannon. Shannon has showed great feet so far and showed it again. Super effort from Grace Shannon. She's a player, there's no doubt. She has impressed.
She's excellent there. She's really dragging this Longford team with her on this, up and down the pitch. She's at one end defending and she's up there penetrating in the forward line. And for a midfielder on a hot day like that, she's just been a credit so far.
Yeah, a real star on this young Longford side as the ball is fed down towards Kathy Carey. Carey solos, gives it inside. Another opportunity for another score for the Antrim girls. It's Marie O'Neill. O'Neill to Pranter. Pranter on the left. She's missed 2 at the left so far, but she doesn't miss the third attempt. Over it goes. She's got 4 points, 3 with her right and 1 with her left.
Yeah, very difficult to mark there. She's able to jink both ways, and the Longford players, while they're doing their best to contain her, they literally don't know which direction she's going to go. She's able to throw out her dummies. She's selling dummies there for fun as well, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, she's worth the admission money alone, I have to say, to watch Orla Pranter. And then the girls out the field know exactly what her movement is and what her traits are, and they have fed her in some really brilliant ball.
The ball in has been outstanding to her, and that's the thing, if you're playing out round midfield or half forward, when you know you have a player of that quality in there, you're more than content to release good quality ball into them. She makes every ball a good ball, really. There's no such thing as a bad ball to Orla Pranter, really. And then I suppose from her point of view, she's dependent on that good vision that Kathy Carey, Grania McLaughlin and the passing ability Marie O'Neill that they have. So they're very much feeding off each other at the minute.
Well, a bit of a knock there for Orla Corr. She's a very industrious player. Orla Corr came into a heavy challenge there. Referee blew immediately, and the physios coming on there, Brendan Conley, to get the attention that Orla requires.
Disappointing, obviously, for any of the Antrim supporters that have had a choice to make today about heading to Croke Park or coming to Carrigan to watch their team. But it's one of those things you would, hope that the girls out here they're professional. If they want to do their job and win their match, get to the next round, and likewise their male counterparts will be doing their bit to try and win their game today. It's just unfortunate for clubs and families that have to make those choices on big days.
Yeah, well, so far so good for the girls as Kathy Carey floats this one in, but there's plenty of blue and yellow jerseys there to snatch that ball, and it's picked up by the captain Leanne Keegan from the St Bridget's Club. Gives it out the field there, looking for Rachel Fallon. The ball comes to Rachel Fallon, I should say. Fed forward now, 2 girls going for it, but it's left for Ella O'Reilly from Mullinachta. coming forward, solos with the left, turns, shimmies well, gives it back to Kiva McCormick. McCormick over to Katie Crawford. Ball retention by Grace Shannon. Gives it back there to her centre half back, Emer O'Brien, and gets it back again. Through the hands it goes to Emer O'Brien. This is well worked. Coming forward, being held up. The two number 6s challenge. That's Ciara Brown and Emer O'Brien, but the referee says that Ciara Brown was just a little bit too robust there, and the free will go the way for the Longford girls, and it'll be Grace Shannon again who will step up to hit this one. She's 30 metres out or so. She's kicked 3 points in the game so far, 2 from play and 1 from free. And if I was a betting man, the way that Grace Shannon's playing, I would think this one will go over the bar as well. And that it does. Didn't give her the commentator scores.
No, and you know, she was totally centrally involved in that movement too. So she's not just applying the finishing touch at the end. Grace was really heavily involved in that move along with the centre back. So she's a super player there so far. Very impressed by what we've seen here.
Yep. She really is a shining star on this hard-working Longford side as the ball is fed forward. Referee sees a little tug there on the hand of the Longford girls, so the free will go the way of Longford, and they take it quickly. The two number 12s clashing on this occasion. That's intelligent play there by Katie Crawford. She got her body in front of Laura de Hunze and won herself the free.
Yeah, again, number 12, she's performed fairly well too. She's picked up a wee bit of a knock here, but again, she's a good strong runner. She's actually difficult to dispossess there, and I've been quite impressed with their sub, Fallon, that came on there as well, number 22, Rachel Fallon. She's actually got herself straight away involved into a number of those attacks, which is nice to see.
And here she is again, on the ball, just as you say. Back it goes to Grace Shannon. Shannon, 45 metres out from goal, skips round our marker there, and back she gets it again. But then here's this screen round the D that Antrim must work so hard at training. The referee's whistle goes, sees a foul there. It was Sarah O'Neill who committed the foul, and well, this is a tough kick, this one for Grace Shannon, but wouldn't put it past her maybe.
No, and I would think, you know, it's slightly favouring her right foot here, so you know, I don't think she's missed any shots yet, so no. We'll hopefully, we're not going to curse her. Again, Rachel Fallon to be involved in that play. It's very difficult to sit on the bench and come straight into a match. Great score again.
Oh, brilliant score. Absolutely super score. I've been really, really impressed by the work of Grace Shannon. As you say, Fallon has come on, Katie Crawford working really, really hard, Emer O'Brien. They've kicked 3 out of the last 4 points have gone the way of Longford, so they're certainly not throwing in the towel early here this afternoon in Toonbridge.
No, Katie Crawford's very direct running there, which has been impressive. And then for Rachel Fallon, that's a lesson to every person that starts on a bench in the country, to be tuned in, to be watching the game and to be ready for the call, because you never know when it comes. You know, she's come straight into that game and performed. Grania
McLaughlin with an ambitious effort goes to the left hand side and goes wide, 4th wide for Antrim. I have no wides recorded for Longford, and they have the 5 points all coming from, as I say, Grace Shannon. So 11-5, they've reduced the gap. It was 8 points to 2 with 20 minutes played, but since then Antrim have hit 3 and Longford have hit 3, so 11-5 as we approach half time. No clock that I can see, but my watch is telling me we're in the 31st minute of this opening half as the ball is in the hands of Maria Kelleher from the Clongish club. Ball played inside to the captain, that's Leanne Keegan. Keegan, strong, powerful player as well. Good ball cross field, looking there for Emer O'Brien. O'Brien loves to come forward from her centre half back spot, has support there from Fumi Tabala if she wishes to use it, but comes through the middle, gives it to this girl Shannon. Shannon has a little bit of space to operate. Still Shannon, is there a goal in her? Brilliant save on that occasion by Anna McCann. The ball comes back out and it goes to the left and goes wide, but for a moment it opened up for Grace Shannon, but the keeper, you have to give Anna McCann credit, came out and closed down the angle.
She did. Grace had hard work to do. She got herself through those two players, and before she knew it, Anna McCann was right at her toe. So great goalkeeping. She gave her no space at all to execute that shot, and I suppose it's very disappointing from a Longford point of view that they actually got nothing out of that attack. The follow-up shot just drifting wide.
And now Antrim on the counter looking to get another score, but well blocked again, close to the sideline. Has it gone over the sideline? It has. There's been super tenacity in the Longford girls, particularly the last 10-12 minutes, Eilish.
Oh yeah, they'll be delighted now. At the minute, no team wants to be losing obviously at half time, but they'll be delighted that when they were sitting with 2 points only, that they've forced that scoreboard to turn over. Been very patient. It's very hard work there when you're trying to keep one player back. To try and maintain a wee bit of a momentum coming forward, but with Grace Shannon in midfield, they've got a complete powerhouse there that's leading them. She's actually dragging this team with her here.
Yeah, Emma Durish was the girl who battled really, really hard for it there and won her team. Is it a line ball or a free? I think she might have won herself a free, did she?
I think it's a line ball, I think.
Well, if it is, she's well over the line.
Yeah, and again, the rule in the ladies' football wouldn't be executed the same as the men's. The men's, you can't cross the line.
Yeah. Ball given away, picked up by Grania McLaughlin. McLaughlin inside it goes there, looking for Laura Agnew. Another score maybe for the Antrim girls. Yes, Agnew, only 18 years of age, from the St Bridget's club, pops that one over the bar. She'd be delighted with that score.
Excellent to take a ball like that, that started out in the wing with the other team in possession, and to be able to turn it over within 10 seconds and to score. It just shows a wee bit of ruthlessness about this Antrim attack as well. They're not prepared to just wait for good ball in, they're prepared to hunt and get the ball back too.
Well, the long whistle goes from our referee Gavin Finnegan. 33 minutes and 44 seconds played in this opening half, which has been called to a halt by the Down official. It has been an entertaining game. 12 and 5, 17 points kicked in that opening half, 12 of them from Antrim, 4 or 5 different scores. And then of course we've had on the Longford side the display from the midfielder Grace Shannon, who's kicked all 5 points for Longford. So entertaining game, Eilish?
Definitely an entertaining match, and I suppose for Antrim they'll look back at those first few shots that they missed. Orla Prenter missed a couple of shots of her left. They also had the goal chance that was well saved by Longford. So I suppose from Antrim's point of view they'll be a wee bit disappointed that they don't have 1 or 2 goals in the back of the net as well. And from Longford's point of view, I think they'll be content coming in half time, having performed very well in the last 10-15 minutes there.
Yeah, some of the forward play by the Antrim girls, and that, look, they work so hard. That's the feature of them. Their game plan is to get back, get numbers behind the ball, get a screen up around the D, try and force the turnover and then move it quickly. And for long periods, particularly in the opening 20 minutes, that worked a treat.
Absolutely, and as I say, the 4 or 5 initial long balls that went in just cut through the Longford rear guard. It totally cut out the sweeper. You won't get away with that every single day, but when Antrim could see that it was working, they persisted with it, which is lovely to see. Defensively, very solid round the D. The only time they were really under threat was that long ball that went in and a little bit of confusion in the defence. And other than that, everything that Longford, they've had to work seriously hard to get in there, to get anything. A couple of frees, and obviously that last run from Grace Shannon, that hard, strong runner from Grace Shannon, and also the Longford number 12 has made a wee bit of ground in there, but it's very difficult defence to penetrate. And
last question before we take a short break at half time, Eilish, if you were in the Longford dressing room, it would be really, really brave, and would it be maybe even foolish to think about taking out your sweeper? You're 7 points down, you need to win the game. What do you do as a manager?
Yeah, well, I would at this point. I think you may as well be hung for sheep as a lamb, and they've had an extra player in there, Nola Prenter, and every ball that's went in she's got anyway. So I think I'd be inclined at this point to throw caution to the wind and say let's get a target full forward ourselves, and let's trust our defence that they can close down. It's a bit like trying to keep David Clifford scoreless. You're not going to keep them scoreless from play.
I thought you were going to say Dara Canavan.
Or Dara Canavan.
Then he's an Eric man, so you mightn't say that.
Or Dara Canavan. Good players are going to score in games, and sometimes you can diminish your own game plan so much by focusing on the other team. So I think a wee bit of bravery now from Longford would be nice to see. I understand the risk they're taking, because Orla Prenter could have, she could rack up 2-3, 2-4 within a few minutes. But, to be 12-5 down, I think with 30 minutes to play, I think you have to go for it.
That's the voice of Eilish Gormley. Delighted to have Eilish with us here on LGFA TV this afternoon, broadcasting live from Toonbridge. It's half time in this Group 4 Round 3 encounter between Antrim and Longford in the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship game. And at half time the scoreboard reads Antrim 12 points, Longford 5 points. Don't go too far away. We'll be right back with full second half coverage.
What can happen in just 1 second? Winning goal. Winning save. Perfect tackle. Clever flick. Good call from the ref. Great shout from the line. The county title. After 30 years. A long wait over. Just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it, and we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
Welcome back here to Toonbridge for this TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship Group 4 Round 3 game between Antrim and Longford. Antrim in pole position, of course, to top the group, leading here 12 points to 5 at half time, and it will look like Westmeath will join them in the quarter-finals of the Intermediate Championship. 4 groups of 3 teams, so some groups have been decided. Tyrone and Clare, for example, are through in Group 2. I believe Kildare and Leitrim are also through, and then Wexford, and it'll depend on the game between Monaghan and Roscommon today. And at half time in that game, it's Monaghan have 8 points, Roscommon have 7, and in the senior championship it's Cavan 3 points, Dublin 2-9 at half time. Also in the senior championship, Tipperary 2-1, Galway 1-7, and another latest score from the Clare Tyrone game, both of them qualified. It's 1-3 apiece at half time, so that's you right up to date. And here in Toonbridge we have both teams back out on the field. Referee with some final checks before it gets matters underway. And just for any Antrim people watching this broadcast, the men's team, I believe Ailish are leading by a point at half time.
They're one point up, 1-7 to 1-6. So
Yeah.
a lot of Antrim people will be keeping a close eye. It'll be a great achievement for them to make the Tailteann Cup final as well, if they can get through this next 35 minutes.
Yeah, big game against, well, one of the big names of football over the years, the Royal County of Meath, numerous All-Irelands. So it would be a terrific achievement if the Antrim men can win that game and get themselves to a Tailteann Cup final. Meanwhile, Longford tried to come forward there in the shape of Ella O'Reilly, but the referee has indicated there was a foul. And in the wars again is Orla Corr, and that's the second time you'll remember, Ailish, about maybe 8 minutes before half time. Orla picked up a knock here down below us, close to the Longford dugout, and she's in the wars again.
Yeah, I think she actually reached in her hand to try and make an interception, so it's possible that the speed of the player coming through is maybe hurt her shoulder joint or something.
And I think maybe that's what she hurt earlier on, and she's aggravated the game possibly. Because ultimately the free is going the way of the Longford girls.
Yeah, and she went down very quick once she put her arm in there, so it could be a bit of a shoulder injury here, or elbow injury they're looking at anyway.
So Longford coming here this afternoon with a lot of players missing. It's really a perfect storm in terms of players injured. They have 6 starters injured. They have 10 girls away with work and travel and all sorts of commitments. As I said earlier in the broadcast, they have been really strong in Leinster, coming through at under 14s and under 16s and minors, so they have plenty to work with. And they have a leader here in Grace Shannon, but on this occasion Grace has kicked her first wide of the afternoon. She kicked all of Longford's scores in the first half, 3 from frees and 2 from play, but on that occasion just didn't get her radar in, Ailish.
No, I should be disappointed with that, given her conversion rate in the first half. Interestingly, you see that Longford are persistent with their sweeper as well. They have their number 11 back here, standing in front of Orla Prenter and Grania McLaughlin. So I think they should maybe have been a bit braver and went for it, but maybe they're going to try and hold the first 10-15 minutes and then make a change. So
Marie O'Neill comes striding forward, girl off the shoulders, Kathy Carey, but O'Neill still does well, retains possession, brings it in round the D, gets it there to Brona Devlin. Devlin tries to go through a couple of players, gives it to DeHunsey. The referee's hand has gone up. He's going to take the advantage, didn't accrue, he reckons. Mind you, Laura, who scored 4 points in that first half, might have thought she had made that little bit of room to get the shot away, but I think the referee got it right on that occasion, called the play back, awarded the free, and Grania McLaughlin it will be who will step up to take this.
Yeah, and see a substitute coming on here for Longford as well. The number 10 now is entering the field of play. So
well, that's Hannah Glennon, and there's an interesting story here, and I'll come back to it once this free is kicked. Grania McLaughlin steadies down on this. She's on the 20-metre line, left-footed kicker, has scored 2 points in the first half. This for the opening score of the second half to put her side 8 in front. Kicks it well and kicks it over the bar. Another score. So the story I was going to tell you is about Hannah Glennon. Her sister Megan started in her place because Hannah was flying in from Paris this morning and her flight was delayed at Dublin, coming into Dublin. So she's just literally made it here a few moments ago and she's now participating in the game. So all credit to Hannah Glennon.
That's some commitment from players. It's incredible the lengths that players do go to try and prioritise their games as well. And an awful lot of family events, functions, holidays come to the wall for the good of their teammates. They don't like to see their team suffering without them. So fair play to her for making her way here.
Yeah, so the two Glennon girls on the field of play, Hannah and Megan. Strong challenge by that girl Orla Corr again. She has been terrific. She is as brave as a lion.
She is, yeah, and probably the pass just wasn't brilliant. A Longford pass there, she probably put her own player into a wee bit of trouble. But again, for Orla to keep going for that, she didn't pull out of it, that's for sure. And probably a wee bit of luck with the referee's call there, actually.
Yeah, and Laura Agnew does really well. They're very strong on the tackle, but battling really hard is Fumi Tabula and touched on the ground. Credit to Tabula there, didn't give up. Looked as if Agnew had done all the hard work, but she stuck at her task, has forced the turnover. Ball in the hands of Ella O'Reilly. O'Reilly looks forward, only sees two Longford jerseys inside and therefore has to bring it back to Grace Shannon. Shannon gives it to the hard-working Kitty Crawford. Crawford looks up. Still Antrim have so many players behind the ball now as the ball is fed inside.
This is
Glennon. Yeah, picked up by Hannah Glennon. Glennon gives it to Kitty Crawford. Crawford thought about the shot, needs help. Still manages to retain possession. Referee allows the play to continue. Kiva McCormick and Antrim girls are working so hard, forcing the Longford girls to come back with the ball. There's no way that they're getting through easy as Grace Shannon picks it up. Shannon lays it back. Now they're out to the 45-metre line, but Emer O'Brien has penetrated a number of times in the open half, still going. Lays it back again to Shannon. Shannon wants to get on her favourite right foot, but hard work again from DeHunsey. Forces her back. Back it comes to Hannah Glennon. She's had an impact since she came on. So too is the other sub, Rachel Fallon. Fallon lays it off there to Ella O'Reilly. O'Reilly back through the hands it comes. Back to Fallon. Fallon gathers it. 45 metres out. Back to Emer O'Brien. O'Brien. This is a good period of play. No scores coming from it as yet, but it's interesting to watch the defensive play and the attacking play from both sides as Antrim get a wall of saffron jerseys round, and therefore this ball has to come out to the wing to Kiva McCormick. Great late run from Kiva McCormick, picked up on this occasion now by Fumi Tabula. Tabula gives it inside to Grace Shannon. Shannon to deserve a score, and they'll get a score. That's a brilliantly worked score, and who else but Grace Shannon? Patience personified, I would suggest.
Excellent score there, and just on that period of play, I think there were 22 players between the 45-metre line and the 20-metre line, so there was actually nobody from Longford pulling in closer to the goal, so it was a very congested area. They managed to hold the ball really, really well and finish with a great score. Yeah, 6 points of the game for the Longford girls and 6 points for Grace Shannon as Antrim now look to respond. Kathy Carey gives the ball forward. Good defensive play again by Dorish, but doing well is Grania McLaughlin. Wins possession. McLaughlin looks up, surveys her options. Strong pacey run from McLaughlin. Gives it into Laura Agnew. Got a point just before half time. This time she's going to come back out with it. Gives it inside. It comes now to Marie O'Neill. O'Neill does well, retains possession. O'Neill looks up. Oh, great ball from O'Neill. Back inside, looking there for Agnew. Nearly a great ball. The idea was super, but just the execution. Well, or maybe it was the player took her eye off it, Eilish, maybe? Yeah, I'm not actually sure that the two players were on the same page. I thought it was brilliant from Marie O'Neill. She was thinking ahead and that wee pocket of space that developed in behind. I'm not sure that the other Antrim forward was thinking the ball was going to come to her, so, but it's lovely to see players being innovative like that and playing off the cuff a little bit as well.
Yeah, super player Marie O'Neill. Only 18 years of age from the Money Glass Club. Of course, 6 Money Glass players started this afternoon's game. There's a bang in the head, a clash of heads between two girls there, but quickly back on their feet, acknowledge the knock and get on with it. Referee throw it up, yeah, and again, who else but Orla Corr in the middle of it again.
Yeah, a hit from both of them, and it was nice to see the two players checking on each other there just before when they were getting each other up. They realised that, it was an innocuous collision, but thankfully both of them seem to be okay.
Orla Corr and Rachel Fallon, both fit to resume. In fact, it's Corr that's going in to compete and indeed win the throw up. Gets it back to Ciara Brown. Brown feeds it forward, and Antrim come again, searching for more scores. Ball played inside there, looking for Brona Devlin. Devlin onto the right foot. Will it curl? I don't think it will. It's gone to the right hand side and gone wide. That's Antrim's first wide of the second half, 5 in total. Longford 1 wide in both halves.
Yeah, and Longford definitely a wee bit more compact here at the back. They're not letting Antrim through as much. Antrim having difficulty finding Prenter in there as well. So we could be in for a very interesting second half if it continues like this.
Yeah, you have to give real credit to this Longford team that came here with a change of manager. They came with a lot of players missing. They came the likes of Hannah Glennon, they've been delayed coming in on our flight. So things were difficult for them, but they've stuck at their task. They've put on a hard-fought battle here against a very confident Antrim side as Kathy Carey comes forward. Good ball looking into space for Grania McLaughlin. McLaughlin will look to take on her marker. That's Emma Dorish. She'll look to get onto the left foot. Does so. Good ball inside looking for Agnew. Agnew back it goes again. Bit predictable on that occasion, and therefore it was well intercepted by Maria Kelleher. But the ball, just about retained by Longford, and they will break through their centre half back as ever. Emer O'Brien from the Longford Slashers Club has support there from Rachel Fallon. Fallon gathers it. Fallon looks up, kicks it forward, looks there for Grace Shannon. Shannon left footed, good ball inside now. Looking there on this occasion for Megan Glennon, one of the two Glennon sisters. Megan close to the sideline, but it's gone out over the sideline, and the linesman over there on the far side indicates that that's a line ball for the Saffron girls.
Yeah, the last two Antrim attacks there, I thought Agnew should have probably popped both of those shots over the bar. She looked for the pass to bring somebody else into play, and very compact defence there from Longford. They were able to turn the ball over, and I suppose just a wee bit unlucky from that ball from Grace Shannon that it just had a wee bit too much weight on it, and it just ran over the line.
Well, there's a turnover, and back it comes now to Rachel Fallon. Fallon flicks it forward, back it comes again. Taking the pace out of the attack, but giving it to Katie Crawford. Crawford deserves a score for all her work, but all the scores have came from this girl, and surely here's another one. Will it keep inside? It certainly does. This has been a super exhibition from Grace Shannon. That's her 7th point of the game.
Oh, she's been outstanding there in midfield, and the work there of Crawford there to be able to break those lines and to play in Grace Shannon that last ball was outstanding from the both of them. They're showing real leadership in the midst of this performance here from this team.
13-7, back to 6 points. A goal for Longford would make it
would
really
fairly
interesting.
liven it up, that's for sure again.
Certainly would. Kathy Carey will have other thoughts, as will her Antrim colleagues. They will look to see can they register the opening goal of this game. They've hit 13 points so far. Ball fired in there, but well read again on this occasion by the sweeper. That's Aisling Cosgrove. Cosgrove does well. Ball comes out to Grace Kenny. Coming forward with it is Emer O'Brien. Involved in everything good that Longford have done in this game. And here come Longford, growing in confidence, I would suggest. Ball flicked inside, not the best ball in the world, but Grace Kenny does well. Gives it back to Leanne Keegan, the full-back, coming forward. Flicks it forward now, looking for Hannah Glennon. Glennon, the ball goes to ground. Was there a foul? Referee says a wee tip, I think, on the ankle.
Probably fair enough there, but you can see that wee bit of confidence now coming into the Longford players there. Their full-back comes steaming up the pitch. And don't forget, she's leaving Orla Prenter to come on the attack. So they've got that wee bit of mojo going at the minute here. They're happy to get to try and play a bit more football here, which is great. Yeah,
and working really, really hard. A higher press on this occasion. Haven't dropped. Pressing Antrim on their own 65. Ball in the hands of Ciara Brown, the St Paul's player, 21 years of age, student at University of Ulster. Gives it to Kathy Carey. Carey from Moneyglass gives it back inside there to Brona Devlin. Devlin looks up. Devlin, good ball inside, but again very well competed for there by by Emma Dorish. Been impressed with her throughout the game. She's been strong, robust, quick, alert.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's not waiting for the ball. She's trying to get out in front, which is lovely to see as well. And I have to say, it's a joy watching ladies football at times whenever a long ball does go in and a forward catches it, and to have to see them think their way through it and work it out. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the mark that the men have brought into Gaelic football. I find that what we're seeing here today, people having to think on their feet when a ball comes to them and play on whenever the opportunity's there. I think it's just brilliant.
Grace Kenny in possession, lays it back inside now to Ella O'Reilly. O'Reilly from Mullinocta. O'Reilly looks up, surveys her options. Not the best ball in the world, and it's easy cut out by Ciara Brown. Brown looks up, gives it to Marie O'Neill. Always an outlet, Marie O'Neill. When the ball has been turned over, she's the go-to girl. And Marie O'Neill now striding forward, looks up, needs support, doesn't see it, and therefore puts on the burners. Good run inside by Kathy Carey, finds her. Carey cutting inside. Is there somebody coming off the loop? Yes, there is. It's Orla Pranter. Just ran into her own player, got in the way, therefore decides to recycle it. Gives it to Brona Devlin. Back to Pranter. Pranter slots the ball out the far side of the field. Antrim a little bit more patient now. Ball into Agnew. She had a couple of chances, as Ailish said earlier in the half, but didn't go for it on this occasion. She shows that she certainly has good feet on her. She kicked one in the first half. She's kicked another one in the second half. Her second point. Antrim's 14 point. Double scores here in Toonbridge.
That's an excellent score, and again, I would have been glad to see her kick those last few shots she got, so it's great that she actually did take it on this time, took the responsibility, because she clearly has good feet. Number 21, Aoife Taggart from Aldergrove Club, coming in here now on a switch for the Antrim team.
Yeah. And is it Laura Agnew, the girl who kicked the point?
It is indeed.
Off? Yeah, well, she can be pleased, and particularly pleased to register 2 points in the game. Her last piece of action was that excellent point that makes it 14 points to 7 here, and we've played 14 minutes, so it's all about the 14 at this stage.
And possibly those 2 missed chances signed her papers here for her in the side. I would imagine that slip was already written out before she'd kicked that last point, you know. So, but when a player gets an opportunity like that, they have to, at this level, be fit to take it.
Well, Longford come now looking to register a response through Grace Shannon. Good ball inside, but well read. Brilliant piece of defending. The forward waited on the ball, Ailish.
She did.
The defender didn't.
There was just that delay there, and any forward worth their salt cannot afford to put the brakes on at any point. You know, that Antrim team are sharp. Great play there from Ciara Brown to come out and win that ball.
Brilliant play, yeah. We always highlight the defensive stuff, or the forward stuff, as Maria O'Neill comes through. O'Neill gives it into DeHunsey. She's got, that's a penalty. Yeah, DeHunsey's taken down. Not deliberate at all, just good play, good skill by Laura DeHunsey. Turned, and the defender left the leg out, and well, the referee Gavin Finnegan had no option but to blow his whistle and award the penalty to the Antrim girls, and I would think Orla Pranto will lift the ball.
A superb break there from Antrim, and that came from that turnover here of Ciara Brown, just turning over the forward, and the speed that they moved down that pitch. And again, as you say, I don't think there was anything particularly cynical in it.
No.
Laura just moved her feet so fast, changed her direction, and the trailing leg caught her. So it's the right decision to award a penalty.
Yeah, it's interesting but to see the 2 umpires and the referee having a long conversation. Is this about the penalty, or about the further penalty for the defender, maybe?
Yeah, I haven't certainly seen him put his arms out to indicate a penalty yet, but I'm assuming he is going to indicate. I presume he's in here checking, which is good refereeing as well, that they have that bit of time, make a discussion. So I would find it hard to believe that it's not a penalty, and then I suppose they're having the thought process of, is there a yellow card? I don't believe there should be in this case, but again, we've only seen it live, so it's difficult. Watching on replays in slow motion, we might see a bit more, but it looked like an honest enough attempt.
I thought so too. I thought she was unfortunate, to be honest, and I hope she doesn't pick up a yellow card, but the referee is going to call her over. Just an update from the Tailteann Cup semi-final. It's not good news for the Antrim. It's 2-12 to 1-8 in favour of Meath, so they've really turned it around in the second half, and with all the writing here, this could be a yellow card for the Longford defender, and I'm with you on this one, Ailish. I think this will be harsh if that's the case.
Yeah, certainly, and I mean we're halfway down the pitch here, so we have to trust that the umpires and the referee are a lot closer than us. But she's certainly getting a good talking to, so it looks like it is a yellow. Yeah, so they've obviously seen something that they believe warrants the yellow card as well as the penalty. So that's a big blow to Longford. Yeah,
double punishment. 17 minutes into the second half. It's Orla Pranter against Rianne McGrath here in Toonbridge. Antrim lead 14-7. This will really seal the deal, I would think, if this one nestles in the back of the net. So the referee just waiting on the Longford player to make her way off the pitch. Orla Prenter, long time to wait, a long time to think, but she is a cool operator. She's 22 years of age. She scored 4 points in the game to date. Referee still making her wait until the Antrim or the Longford player makes her way off the field of play, and still the wait goes on, and eventually I think it's maybe Leanne Keegan is at the full back. I'll check that in a moment, but we'll watch this penalty. The referee's whistle now goes. Prenter against McGrath, right footed. Prenter low and into the back of the net, down the middle it went. Probably not the best penalty in the world, but there was power on it and it was low and it nestles in the back of the net. Big score.
Big score, and credit to Orla Prenter to have to stand there for a minute while you're thinking about this, while the player's moving off the pitch. That's incredibly difficult to stay that focused, to be able to still put the ball in the net. Huge blow for Longford, obviously. Not alone. The penalty was the right call, there's no doubt about that. I just don't know if the yellow card merited, but again, if we see that at a replay later on, great save.
Yeah, brilliant save. The ball is, well, it's gone into the back of the net. I'm not sure what happened there, Eilish.
There was a brilliant save, and I'm not sure if it actually ricocheted off one of the Longford players there now.
Yeah, I think the referee's given a free out. Yeah, I think he's indicating that there was a foot tackle that he wasn't happy with, and therefore, yeah, I don't
see him writing in his notebook, which is that would have been a massive blow to Longford there.
Yeah, so no goal on this occasion. So Rianne McGrath can start again. Longford now down to 14 players for the next 10 minutes. We've played 19 in this second half, and it's their captain, Leanne Keegan, who's been excellent at fullback, who's had to go off for 10 minutes as Fumi Tabala
she's still there.
Comes forward to Grace Shannon. Well, we'll have to check the number. Yeah, Keegan's still there, you're right. Thought it was the number, maybe it was the 7, Maria Kelleher. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. I'll assign that task to you as the ball is fed inside. Opportunity for Longford. It was Kiva McCormick gets the shot in, but the ball has been broke out. Looks as if it's going to go out for 45. Yes, indeed it has. So Longford looking for their own quick response there, but it came to no harm. Just dribbled out for a 45. So change of goalkeeper here. Is that what's happening? Or
yeah. We have a change of goalkeeper on. It may well be the Longford number 2, is it? Maybe that's, or the Longford number 18. Maybe, I'm not sure who got Sinbin there. We couldn't see the number, unfortunately, which has gone off. But the 3's definitely still on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the keeper is coming off, and well, we haven't been advised who the keeper is, and she's wearing no number, so we'll have to assume maybe it's Ruth Jones from the Column Kill Club. Meanwhile, we'll follow the play, and it's this 45 taken by Grace Shannon into space. Back out it comes to Kitty Crawford. Crawford in possession for Longford, looking for an immediate response following that goal. Gives it back to their only score getter today. Oh, ball turned over, and now Antrim will look to break quickly, but well blocked on that occasion. Turned over again. Back it goes to Kitty Crawford. Crawford steadies down. Looks as if, that's a brilliant effort from Kitty Crawford. Well, if anybody deserves a score for Longford, it's Kitty Crawford. Excellent
score, and Rachel Fallon will definitely be very pleased that because she hesitated and Antrim cut that ball out, and luckily Longford won it back. So again, just much like what happened for the penalty, the turnover from Antrim with the Longford player waiting on the ball, it ended up in the back of their net. So they can't hesitate here. Number 18 coming on for Antrim here as well. We have Carly McKenna from Patrick Sarsfield's coming in.
Yeah, she's making her way onto the field of play.
There's 15 for Longford coming as well.
That's Edel Sheehy. Edel wasn't fit to start this afternoon's game, but she's made her way off. So lots of changes as we look out down below us. We didn't see who came off for Antrim. Well, there's the cornerback, Aisling Keenan, 26-year-old from Breda. So Aisling happy with her day's work. And it's a run out for Carla McKenna, wearing the number 18. So plenty of changes, 8 minutes on my watch, but there'll be a few to be added on, one would think, as that ball is gathered by Sarah O'Neill. O'Neill, referee, playing advantage. Antrim Coming forward at Orla Core. Core gives it inside to Kathy Carey. Back through the hands it goes to Sarah O'Neill. To Carey, to DeHunze. DeHunze steadies down, looks at the post, go for the score. Super score. Really, really good. That's a player playing with full confidence in her ability.
Yeah, an excellent team score there that came all the way out from the defence here. Again, Orla Core very pivotal in that move, Kathy Carey, and a great finish there by Lara at the end.
5th point of the game for Lara DeHunze. Brings Antrim's tally to 115. 23 minutes played in this second half, and they are cruising through to the All-Ireland Intermediate quarter-finals. And who's to say they won't have a big say in this All-Ireland series? They've won the junior final last year. They've won the Ulster Intermediate title this year. And the way they're playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they'll in Croke Park for a final.
Yeah, I would be thinking they'll be thereabouts at the business end. They're very athletic. They've a number of marquee players and also a serious work rate about them, you know. So again, there's no individuals playing here. They're very much playing as a full team, which is lovely to see.
And they know their game plan. They have it more or less perfected.
They're around that, playing at junior level over those couple of years and generating that wee bit of momentum. It leaves them when they come into intermediate. Now they're coming in as a very strong team. They're not coming in there with any. There's no greenhorns in this here. They're very, very sharp. They're smart on the ball here. So again, I would expect that they'll fancy their chances in the business end of the season. But there'll be plenty of other strong teams in there as well in the mix.
And that win over Tyrone would have given them huge confidence, because that's Tyrone have been a big name in ladies football, as you know, over the years, playing senior and so on and so forth. But to beat Tyrone then in an intermediate Ulster final was an excellent achievement, and would build confidence in the team.
Absolutely. Well, it tells all the players that they're on the right track, and it helps you to build trust with your whole backroom team and all, that you're moving in the right direction. So every win is a great win, and that wee bit of momentum a team can generate is sometimes very hard to stop.
So 18 points to 8 here, a wide there as we were talking for Longford, and Antrim come again with DeHunze. DeHunze turns inside, pops the ball over, but well read on that occasion by Leanne Keegan for the Longford girls. And Longford will come and break with a little bit of purpose. Ball in the hands of Fumi Talaba gives the ball down, looking for Edel Sheehy, but well defended again by one of the star players for me. She mightn't be on the scoreboard, but Orla Core, 21-year-old from St John's. She hasn't put a foot wrong here today.
Absolutely brilliant, and again, it's lovely to see a defender being so pivotal in so many of the Antrim scores as well. She's not waiting on anything, she's totally in the zone playing ball there. I think she's been accredited, and again, I would be thinking she is probably in line. If you were awarding a player of the match, she's definitely in the factor for it, along with obviously Orla Prenter, particularly in her first half. She's been a bit quieter now in the second, and that's down to Longford crowding the defence a wee bit more. Grace Shannon, from a Longford point of view, has been brilliant, as well as that number 12 for Longford, Crawford, who's been impactful. But I do think that the Antrim wing back here, Orla Core, has definitely had the most influence in the game.
Her or Lara DeHunze maybe as well.
And DeHunze obviously excellent, 5 points from play.
Yeah. So Antrim come again, looking for scores with Sarah O'Neill. O'Neill lays it off there to Prenter, coming out from her full forward line to get on a bit of ball. Good ball forward to Grania McLaughlin. McLaughlin screaming for this Kathy Carey. Carey gets it, but good defensive play. Well read by Fumi Talaba there on that occasion. Done really, really well. Ball close to the sideline over there. Talaba retains possession, but look at how hard Antrim are working. They're leading this game by 10 points, but they're putting serious pressure on Longford high up the field on this occasion. But Longford do well. Get the ball worked out here to Kiva McCormick. McCormick, very warm down there, 21, 22 degrees. These girls have give everything in this encounter. Both sides working really, really hard. So,
and see the Longford, Maria Kelleher, the number 7, was the Sinbin player. They've her up on the sideline here now, obviously thinking that she's going to get a wee bit of game time. And we know the rule obviously is 10 minutes playing time, so very much up to the referee with those few stoppages when he lets her back into play. Yeah, she went off in the 18th minute on my watch, so we're 27 and a half at this stage. And as you say, whatever the referee wants to add on, as Claire Emerson from the Colin McGee's club comes on the field, and she replaces Anya Tuberday. Tuberday, another teacher on this side from the St Paul's club, scored a point in the opening half. Her day's work is done
Opportunity for 21-year-old Claire Emerson to come on and make an impression in these last, well, whatever it is, 2 minutes of normal time and probably 3 or 4 more. Is that McLaughlin with the strike? It is indeed. McLaughlin very confident and really clinical with that left foot.
Yeah, and another player we should be mentioning as well in terms of her performance in the game. You know, she's had a couple of lovely passes in there in the first half, and she's got herself onto the scoreboard. She's full of running as well, so it seems to have a really good understanding with the rest of the Antrim forward line. So for any of those girls getting a run in there now, you know, they're very much trying to put their hand up to say, think about me for the next day, please, managers.
Yeah, and Graham McLaughlin didn't start the Ulster final. It was Therese Mellon from the St Bridget's Club, who was absolutely superb that afternoon. So shows that there's a bit of strength in depth. Mellon is out injured, of course, as the ball is in the hands there of Emerson. Back to DeHunze. DeHunze, 45 metres out, gives it to Kathy Carey. Carey has off the shoulder Brona Devlin. Good ball inside, good vision, gives it in there to Aoife Taggart. Taggart back inside, surely a goal. Oh, brilliant effort from Antrim. Brona Devlin pops it over the bar. She was going for goal. It looked as if it was going to nestle in the top right-hand corner, but too much elevation on it. It went over the bar, but what a brilliant team work score.
Absolutely, and Kathy Carey central to that role with a lovely pass, and Longford have just brought on their number 19. So again, management are probably thinking about the future, trying to get girls on here, give them that wee bit of big game experience. And here comes their number 7 from the Sinbin, so they're back to full complement.
Yeah, and coming off there, is it Ashton Cosgrove? No, it's Grace Kenny. So we're playing down the last 20 seconds of time, and depending what the referee adds on then, as Kathy Carey gives it to DeHunze. High challenge there on DeHunze. So the manager of Antrim, Emma Kelly from the St Paul's Club, kicking every ball down on the sideline, but she'll be really, really pleased with a lot of aspects of this performance.
Yeah, absolutely, and the big one is to get away here today without any big injuries, you know, because the championship's going to come on thick and fast. So they'll be very pleased that they've got a run of subs on here as well. They've kept the scoreboard ticking over and come out with no big injuries. Very important factor.
Pranter from distance, but this time it goes to the right hand side and goes wide. And look at Orla Pranter has played well. There's high expectations, of course. Every time she comes out, she's scored a goal and 4, but she's left a few behind her today, and that shows that if she was on her game, you know, Antrim will be so much further in front.
Yeah, certainly. We can probably count 4 or 5 chances maybe that she's coughed up. But look, her movement in the first half in particular was absolutely outstanding. The way she was able to sit deep in the goal to make a run, a delayed run, she was absolutely brilliant now. So again, credit to Longford. They have probably bottled up the defence a wee bit in the second half, and they've certainly made life a wee bit more tricky.
So 2 subs coming on there, Caitlin Taggart and Rachel Mulholland. On to Laura DeHunze and Brona Devlin are the 2 players that make way. So an opportunity for Emma Kelly to, well, give players 5 minutes or so, and a happy squad is very important as well. As you know, Eilish, you need to...
Incredibly difficult to keep everybody happy, and people aren't happy unless they're playing, and unfortunately there's only 15 spots and, you know, the max of 5 subs, so you're always going to have players that are disappointed, and that's good because every player should want to play, but a difficult job for any management team. That's
what keeps the competition, as Caitlin Taggart gives it there to Orla Pranter. Pranter solos with the right, looking to cut inside. Grace Shannon does well, looks at the posts, and then threads a brilliant ball. What a ball over there to Maria O'Neill, and I'm not sure how Maria missed that one, but off the upright it came and back into play.
And you can see that understanding from the club mates there, being able to find each other with moves. So very impressed with Maria O'Neill as well for 18 years of age.
Yeah, and this girl here, she's been super. Kathy Carey, inside it comes there, eventually comes to Claire Emerson. Emerson needs support, has it there, ball comes back there to Orla Corr. If she can get a point, that'll really crown her day. It looks as if she has. Well, that might seal the deal for her player of the match.
That was some point,
wasn't it?
outside of the right boot from probably 40 metres there. That was some kick there, particularly at this stage of the game when you're fatigued. To be able to still execute that was brilliant.
She has been an absolute joy to watch this afternoon. Her defensive play, her work rate have been phenomenal. Her turnovers have been super. Her passing has been excellent. And then to round it off with a score like that, take a bow, Orla Corr. Just 18 years of age? No, 21 years of age.
Yeah, no, she's excellent. And I see her the minute she got that ball over the bar, she's racing back here. Yeah. You know, she's not prepared to dwell on her score. She's back there to protect protect the defence here and not let Longford get anything else.
Maria Keller tries to thread the ball forward, comes back there to Shannon, back across, it comes to Ashton Cosgrove. Cosgrove lays it back. Eventually comes to Ella O'Reilly. O'Reilly might go for the post, but not a great effort by Ella. Easily intercepted, and Orla Prenter screaming for this ball. Well, not a good ball out. Will it be kept in play? Just about. Prenter is still on, but now Longford start to filter back. Ball fed forward there. Opportunity for Juna Coleman. Coleman gives it forward there to Prenter. Prenter thinking about a score. Could have a goal on her mind. Still inside. Surely, oh, a great block on that occasion. It was Aoife Taggart that came through the middle, but the block went on and it goes out for 45.
And just a lovely wee moment there in front of us here with the Longford player here just went down with a cramp, and the Emma Fearn, the Antrim fullback, actually stopped with her, and she was actually medicating there until the medics got on the pitch. So that's lovely to see, even at this level of competition, the players still hold that wee bit of respect for each other.
Yeah, there's been brilliant sportsmanship right from the start when the two sets of players sat down in the middle of the field, linked arms for the national anthem, and then sat down in the middle of the field to register their protest in respect of a charter for ladies football. And that sportsmanship, as you say, Eilish, has held throughout the entire game, and that's another example of it, as Sarah O'Neill comes forward for Antrim. O'Neill from the Money Glass Club as well, lays it back there now to Kathy Carey, and if somebody deserves a score, it's probably Kathy Carey, but on this occasion she's not going to get it. Doesn't go out of play. It's picked up by Leanne Keegan. Keegan gets it back. Ball fisted forward there. Eventually comes forward down below us here in front of this magnificent pavilion to Kiva McCormick. McCormick looks up, surveys her options, gives it back to a very tired looking Leanne Keegan. Keegan looks up now and gives it to Hannah Glennon. Glennon threads a great ball inside. Will the defender make it? Strong play, still going as Shannon lays it off. Well, back to Shannon it comes. Oh, good interception. Well run back by Rachel Mulholland from Lamderg. Ran the whole way back and rescued that situation. But the referee calls for the ball. Gavin Finnegan says it's all over. We've played 35 minutes and 20 seconds here in Tombridge, and it's the Antrim girls who have registered another significant victory. They are a team on a roll. They've hit 118 today. They've won this game 21 points to 8.
Yeah, and they look very, very comfortable there. Bar that little, suppose, 10-minute spell in the end of the first half when Longford got back into it. Antrim more or less dominate the whole way through. They're a very good side. No team will want to draw them in the next round, that's for sure. We're just looking at the physiques here when they're walking in. They're so athletic. They're tall. Every one of them girls can run. And when you see Orla Core going up the pitch, on the 60th minute after playing a blinder and sticking one over the bar with the outside of the right boot, it was incredible. And likewise, the Longford fullback, to be fair to her, Leanne Keegan, she was out in her feet, but she made some run there in the 62nd minute. She came out the field supporting her teammates there to try and get themselves up, and I suppose they were unlucky not to finish the game with that goal. It was only going to add a wee bit of gloss anyway. Antrim deservedly win the game. For Longford, they'll probably take plenty of positives out of running, getting plenty of girls on the pitch there. They've a wee bit of work to do. They'll get their managerial turmoil obviously hopefully sorted out and be back in with a shout maybe in the coming months.
Yeah, it's just a question of how far this Antrim team can go. Evidently they've qualified top of their group, 2 comprehensive victories to date. They are a team, as I've said in commentary, on a roll. They're going to be very, very difficult to stop. They beat Westmeath down in Mullingar a couple of weeks ago. They've comprehensively beat Longford. They will top the group. They'll probably get home advantage in the next round. So, confidence is there. They can go on and lift this title.
Yeah, no doubt about it. For any of those players in there now, they've been on a journey now for the last probably 3 years, 4 years, obviously with a few new players filtering in. But a lot of them have enough experience gathered up now that they're not going into any intermediate quarterfinals fearing any other team, and I suppose, as you mentioned earlier, the takedown of Tyrone, even though Tyrone probably were maybe a few injuries in that at the minute, but psychologically that's a massive lift for an Antrim team to be taken down a so-called bigger county. So they'll have taken huge credit and huge confidence from that. Again, when they go into the draws, I don't think any team will want to see their name coming out against Antrim. They're definitely very athletic. You know, they have one of the best forwards at the minute in the game in Orla Printer. But then as well, you know, with the likes of the defensive solidity there, they were very, very strong, very difficult for anybody to get through. So there'll be a challenge for any team that gets them.
So we'll have to wait till the groups are confirmed and the way they finish. But my reckoning is probably Kildare and Leitrim in Group 1. Group 2 will be Tyrone and Clare. Group 3, Wexford, and it looks like Monaghan last 29 minutes into the second half, they were leading 16-10 against Roscommon. So it'll be Wexford and Monaghan, and then in Group 4 it'll be Antrim and Westmeath. So put you on the spot.
Yes, to try and
Tyrone, Antrim.
Well,
Monaghan, you could never write them off.
You know, you can't write Monaghan off, that's for sure. And I know I watched Tyrone last week and I was impressed with a lot of their play. Again, being able to mix it up, long ball, short ball. But I mean, Clare are motoring very well at the minute, so I don't think that Tyrone would want to see Antrim coming out of the hat, and vice versa for now. Again, you know, playing Monaghan, you don't like to be having to go against your Ulster rival sometimes, but I don't think there's any easy games in there for anybody anyway. You know, the likes of Wexford, Westmeath, Clare, they'll all be in with a shout when it comes in. And, you know, we're in the business end of the season now, so one or two mistakes can cost dearly at this point, you know, so it's been a good championship so far, and I would say intermediate is wide open.
Yeah, and talking about a wide open game, Antrim have put on a sparkling comeback in Croke Park. They have it down to a point, 2-14 to 2-13, with just a couple of minutes of injury time to play. So great battle there. So for all the Antrim supporters, it's been a good day for the ladies. It may well be a good day for the men. Time will tell on that one there. But from Ailish and myself here in Carrigan at this TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship Group 4 Round 3 game between Antrim and Longford. We are going to sign off. Thanks, Ailish, for your input this afternoon.
You,
really enjoyed it, and I look forward to working with you again in the future. But as Antrim players down on the pitch take on some refreshments and mingle with their parents and families. It's a happy day for the Antrim ladies. They've won this game on a final score of Antrim 1 goal in 18 to Longford's 8 points. They will progress to the All-Ireland quarter-finals. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast, and until we meet again, it's Slán go Fóill.
A lot can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. They're great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it, and we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.